All right, hello and welcome to the eVenture Family channel. If it's your first time here, please do subscribe so that you don't miss any upcoming EV news, reviews, and drives. And today is an exciting day because we are we are finally going to be able to charge our brand new Equinox EV here on the Tesla Supercharging network with our adapter. So just the other day, GM finally, after months and months of like integration testing and kind of false starts, appears to have enabled this. And we don't have like too much in the way of official announcements or releases or anything on this. It is definitely working now. So we are gonna charge this up for the first time here using one of these awesome new V4 dispensers, or I think what Tesla internally calls V3 Plus, since the cabinet itself is still a V3, but the dispenser is the V4. So this is actually my first time using one of these ones. It's got the nice long cables. I don't see Magic Dock here, interestingly, and I'll show you basically what the integration here looks like with Chevy, because it's kind of interesting. Inside the vehicle itself doesn't seem to have like any knowledge of this location or being able to charge here. The MyChevy app does, and then we can of course activate this through the Tesla app, but it's all a little bit of a different experience and kind of unique, and certainly different from the super easy experience that Ford owners and that we with our Rivian have had so far. So come along with me and let's test this on out.
That's right.
All right, so first up here, in order to actually use this, we need to both have an adapter and activate this for payment. So Chevy and GM overall are actually the first brands so far that have integrated with Tesla. The only other brands that have done it so far were Ford first, and then Rivian about 6 months or so ago, and we've been using it quite a bit on our road trips. And now GM is the third. They were supposed to actually launch this back in the spring, but it was delayed multiple times, and it's finally here. So there's the only brands that are able to charge on Tesla Superchargers right now, unless you're using a Magic Dock location, in which any EV can charge on. But natively here on the Tesla ones, GM is now just the third one. And with Ford and Rivian, they have plug-in charge, where as long as you have your payment set up through their apps, you just come, you plug it in, and it starts charging without having to do anything. It works super well in the Rivian. It has this deep integration where it even shows you like the charging prices and stuff right through the display in the screen. We don't have any of that here, and in fact we have to use either the Tesla app or the MyChevy app to activate and do this here. It's nice, at least we can use the MyChevy one, but it's a little bit slow, and we already have the Tesla app installed anyway, so I'll show you what that looks like for both of those. And then the other key thing here is that we need an adapter, and so right now you are able to order an adapter through GM. GM is the first brand that is charging their customers for adapters. It's $225, which is not cheap, and third-party ones are actually a bit cheaper than that, but the third-party ones are not officially supported. So if you want the official one, which I in a way would recommend, because it's the only one that doesn't necessarily have the potential to like void your warranty, you need to order that way. For Ford and Rivian customers, you're able to sign up and request one for free. We requested ours through Rivian, and we're still waiting several months later to get it, but eventually we will get that. For GM, it seems like you might have a shorter wait, but you do have to pay for it. So in the meantime, a lot of customers like myself are using third-party ones. So I'll show you the options for that as well, and kind of the pros and cons with those. All right, so here are two of the options that we've got for third-party chargers. So first up here, this is the Lectron Vortex adapter, and this one is actually in a way pseudo-recommended or supported, I guess, by GM, because you can actually order this one through GM's accessory site. So while this is not yet UL certified, in fact no adapters are, because the certification has not been finalized yet, this is at least one that GM seems comfortable with you using, but your mileage may vary with that. This one I think is a good one overall. I actually have a video comparing all of these in much more depth in the channel already, if you want to check that out. I do like this one. The only downside is the connector here to the Tesla side of things can be a bit tight, and it's a little bit like finicky to get off, and sometimes you have to like really kind of pull it to get it off. The other one here is this one from A2Z. This is actually my favorite one, and the one I would probably recommend if you're comfortable using a third-party one. This is called the Typhon Pro. It is the latest version here, and I like this one because it is definitely sturdy, but still easy to like use one-handed and everything. And I find the connections on here to be really well made and like very easy to kind of work with. And then you also only have like one connection hinge latch mechanism that you have to deal with here, you know, to plug in. So I'm going to try both of these out and make sure they both work, but so far I haven't had any issues with them, and the chargers and vehicles themselves don't know anything about which adapter you're using because they're just passive, so we shouldn't have any issue that way. So let's start here with our Lectron. And by the way, I also will have links and codes down in the description for both of these adapters, and if you're going to pick one up anyway, absolutely use those links and the codes, because not only does it help support me in the channel, but it'll actually save you a decent amount off of these, because these are not cheap, as they, I mean, shouldn't be, but you know, using that discount will actually make a difference here. Oh, these are actually Magic Dock ones, so if I, how does this work? Yeah, if I push and hold that down, I can actually just get the adapter here, so I could use this even without our adapter, but what fun is that? All right, so here's the connector, and as you can see, the port here in the Equinox is actually the same location as in our Rivian R1S, which is on the front driver's side. All Tesla vehicles are on the rear of the driver's side, and so in general these are intended to be used where this spot should go to that one. Actually, I'm in the wrong one here, so let's use that one. But the downside with shorter cables that we found at Superchargers generally before is that you often have to like offset from one. So in order to use the Equinox here, I'd basically be blocking this charger over here while using this one, which blocks this spot. So I'd be taking up two spots essentially. Now with these nice longer cables, we don't have that problem, and we don't have to worry about that. So I can just use this last one here, and I'm only taking up one spot. So no problem here, I don't think, with the cable reaching. Oh, that's pretty close. They could honestly make these a little bit longer. All right, so that is in there, and yeah, no tension in the cable here, but that's pretty close. All right, so we are in there now, and let's start off here with the MyChevy app. All right, so I've already gone through and like configured this for the first time, just added my payment information and everything, just because you need to do that anyway if you're using this app for charging on any networks. So since I've got that set up here, basically, you know, I just found where we are in here, and it shows me this charger. So the nice thing here is this actually has pretty good integration and like real-time information. So it tells me that 12 ports are available, although I don't think that's true because two of us are plugged in. There's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chargers here. Oh no, there's more down there. There are 4 more down there. Okay, I didn't see those ones before. So there are 12 here, but I'm plugged in and there's another Tesla charging. Also, by the way, location-wise, we are at a Fairfield by Marriott here. I get why they install here, like there's space available, but I kind of personally do not really like these locations at hotels, because you're taking up spots that the actual guests at hotels need. And you have, you know, other people that are staying here. Superchargers like this are not really well designed to be used for like overnight guests. You don't need to charge that long, and so really doesn't make much sense to me, and it encourages people to just park here and block them like we've got iced here. So anyway, in order to charge here, I think we just hit this charge here button and find our location. So we're on 3D. Yep, 3D. Gives me the option, and so now I have some additional options here for charging on this network. I'll hit get started. This gives me information about like even ordering the adapter and everything. All right, I'm gonna add my payment. And it tells me I need an authorized adapter, and to not use another one because it will void the vehicle warranty and affect warranty coverage of other parts. Okay, so I think we should be good to go now. Charge by app, okay, great. And let's try charge here again. So we're on 3D. Yeah, there we go, all right. So it tells us how to use the Magic Dock and adapter. So now connecting to charger. Okay, just got a charge through of $10. Ooh, car beeped, and I think we are good. Okay, charging started. Now, I haven't actually like really used this app much to keep track of this stuff. Does it tell me anything about charging? No, doesn't seem to be. Oh, it says unplugged. Am I charging? Yeah, car knows I'm charging. App doesn't seem to. All right, so here's our charging information. Doesn't really tell us much about like the speeds except for mile per hour. I don't know if I can change this to kilowatts or anything. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Okay. So that's a downside. You can't really see charging information on here. At least that I can tell. Maybe I'm just missing that. Let me know if there is a way to bring that up. Yeah, the app also does not appear to show. It just says I'm charging. It doesn't say how fast. Okay. All right, so that seemed to work fine. I'm gonna stop charging now and let's check out the Tesla app as well as the A2Z adapter and just make sure that works. All right, so same thing here. Actually, with these nice cables now, I had no problem getting that Lectron one off. All right, so like I said, I don't expect this to be any different or have any issues with it, but it's always good to just double check, right? All right, so we're plugged in, and now let's do this one through Tesla. All right, so in the Tesla app here, we can go to charge your other EV. Okay, go here to our location, and it should be this one, I think. Yep. All right, charge here. And we are on 3D. Start charging. So this shows 39 cents a kilowatt hour. Interestingly, the MyChevy app shows 37 cents. All right, so it says attach adapter and plug in, which we already did. Interesting, so through Chevy here, it was 37 cents a kilowatt hour plus 2 cents sales tax. I wonder if that's the difference. They're just showing you what it is before sales tax, whereas Tesla's showing before. All right, I don't know what's going on here. Let's try this again. All right, so that's interesting. It would not work with the A to Z one. I don't know if I just wasn't getting a good connection or what, but I had to switch back to the Lectron one for that to actually connect and charge. And I tried like unplugging it multiple times, restarting the request to charge. I even powered off and moved the car and put it back just to see if it needed like a little reset, and no. So that is quite interesting. I'll have to keep checking that, but I'm not aware of anything that would allow it to know it's even a different adapter, let alone cause a problem with charging here. But this is one of the things that could be interesting in the early days here with compatibility. So I'll try it one more time, but I am quite surprised that didn't work. But anyway, we are now charging with Tesla, and let's stop that. Just I want to see if it's a different charging rate or fee or not. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work. Lectron one worked fine. Huh, very interesting. All right, I don't know what to make of that, but good thing we figured that out. I guess we'll be traveling with the Lectron one for now. All right, now while that is DC fast charging, which is greatly a huge help and gives us additional resiliency and options when we're doing road trips, I'm super happy to have that now. That makes a big difference for us now. I can actually consider taking the Equinox here on road trips up to Vermont or up into New England that really had some like sparse charging before, and now having access to the Supercharger network gives us more options and additional like backup plans basically along those trips. So I'm super excited for that. One other thing though that is incredibly important, especially since we're standing here at a hotel, is the ability to AC charge the Equinox on as many different ports as possible. And so since we have a J1772 port here on the Equinox, like every non-Tesla EV currently, that actually limits where we're able to AC charge, especially like with level 2 charging that you would generally use overnight or in slower cases and stuff. And so a lot of places you'll find have Tesla destination chargers with the Tesla connector, which without an adapter, you're not able to actually charge here. And so I'm happy today to have this video sponsored by my friends from EVDANCES, who have made an awesome, compact, and yet very well-made and reliable Tesla to J1772 charging adapter that has the lock buttons and everything on it. So let me show you how this works. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that there's basically no cross compatibility or ability to like use DC adapters and AC adapters, you know, vice versa, or like have a one size fits all kind of approach for it. You actually need separation between the two, which is important for like safety things. And so I always carry around both a DC adapter like the ones that I just showed here for charging and an AC adapter like this, so that we have the maximum flexibility possible. So here is our adapter itself. Got this nice little box. You can see just like how compact this is compared to some of those bigger, not only AC or DC adapters, but some of the other much more bulky AC adapters that you can find too. So here we go in our nice packaging here. You've got, you know, user manual and safety instructions, and this is really well packaged so that you're not gonna have any issues with that. You know, here's some warnings and stuff too, and you know, this tells us that we can use this with a variety of wall adapters as well, including the Tesla wall adapter. And for that specifically, if you have a Tesla wall connector, you need to make sure it's not in the only Tesla option or authorized Tesla's only option. It needs to be in universal mode. All right, so here's the adapter itself. This is awesome. This is one of the coolest ones I've ever tested out here. So we have here on the Tesla side a little sliding lock that'll connect that in, and then we have this bigger latch for the J1772 side. Now, there are no AC Tesla chargers here, so I can't actually show this like fully working, but basically the way this would work is, say you've got your Tesla side of things, and again, this isn't going to work with supercharging because this is DC connection, this is an AC adapter, but same port, right? So you get the idea. You would just slide this on, you slide this little locking mechanism closed on this side here, and then this latch will just let you connect right in, and yeah, awesome. Really satisfying click there. I can tell that is quite well made. That just goes in straight like that. And then when you're done, just pull this port to disconnect it there, slide the little locky thing into the open position here. So you just slide this little side open and then comes off like that. Easy. So this is a great option to have, just, you know, throw it in the trunk easily. So small and compact, it's not going to take up really any space at all. And this really will help, you know, with that overnight charging, or if you're like stopped in a place for a long time, maybe getting dinner or something like that. Gives you additional flexibility and convenience. Plus, the Tesla chargers often are faster than corresponding J1772 ones, because Tesla chargers operate at 48 amps, whereas the J1772 ones that you find in most places would be like 40 amps or sometimes even 32. So you actually get a faster charge using this in a lot of places too. Life hack. All right, so if you're interested in picking one up, you can find that either directly through EVDANCE's website or on retailers like Amazon. I'll have the link to both down in the description below. Make sure to use my code because, again, it helps support the channel and it costs you nothing extra, and you'll save a little bit as well. So thanks EVDANCE for sending this on over to test out. All right, here is the in-car and I guess in-screen experience with charging. So first off, you would think maybe in the charging screen we could find something about, you know, finding chargers, but no. You have your options for how much you want to charge there. Actually, let's go back now to 80%. And we do have these chargers here, but you'll notice that we're doing nearby and this light doesn't show up at all. And from what I can tell in here, I don't think there's any Tesla in here. Oh, there's. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now it shows that we're here and can use this one. So let's see, can we do anything from here? We can route to it at least. Okay, actually this is not bad. So here's the connector options and everything. Does it let us do anything? Oh, we can actually start charging through here. I didn't realize that. All right, well, that's nice. And then we can even see price details here. All right, hey, I'm pretty impressed with that. That's better than I thought. It's a lot of clicks to get in here and a little bit hard, and I'm surprised it didn't show up like immediately, but that's not bad. And then look, we can even see photos of the station here. That's not that helpful. Yeah, cool. All right, hey, I give Chevy some props for that. That's not bad. All right, I wonder why though it didn't realize that. Okay, now it's showing up. Interesting, maybe I had to kind of cycle through that to get there. Okay, so we've got that, right? And then here, I thought maybe in the MyChevy app there'd be something, but this doesn't have anything about charging. I missed that other one before though, so that's actually pretty good. You can do it all through here. You don't even really need to use your phone. Although I will say, this is definitely a less seamless experience than what Ford and Rivian have, where you just plug in and it works. I really don't totally understand why Chevy can't do that. I mean, I understand technically they need to push an OTA to vehicles to enable that, but it seems like everything was done behind the scenes for the authentication and everything. They're just requiring this extra like button press to do it basically. But that's not horrible. It's just a little bit of a pain to kind of jump through all of those screens, but I can live with that. And then here in the maps, I found this interesting. Google Maps doesn't even seem to know that there's a charger here. So like it's not there if I zoom in like that. If I click on the chargers one here, it does show me Tesla ones now, but not the one that I'm actually at. And I noticed, okay, that was a filter I've on for like, I think I have that specifically set to Tesla ones. Still nothing there. And if I put that back in now, the interesting thing though is it does seem to do the right thing for routing. So let's say I want to go to Acadia National Park. This is a pretty long drive that we just did. Check out the video if you haven't already. Sure, let's say we're gonna go there. And so it knows we need chargers. It's gonna add it in here. And let's see. So I have this specifically set here to show Teslas specifically, but now you can see we have all of these in here, which is cool. And then we can go in here. It shows you, you know, it is in fact picking ones that enable adapters, which is awesome. And then we have all that other info in here. So this is actually pretty good. I would say overall, good experience here. It kind of felt initially to me like GM was, you know, not doing the best thing here. You know, missing plug-in charges is one big thing, and then charging for the adapter is another. And then I was a little bit worried about like the fact that GM really has not shown that they can deliver any successful over-the-air updates. But I guess the benefit here is that with all of this mapping stuff done through Google, that just picks it up like in real time as it gets added from Google side of things. It's not dependent on GM pushing anything. And then they must have pushed something, but I guess maybe it's, you know, like a app update here in this charging one that shows this stuff now. But that's actually pretty good. I thought that it was missing that functionality. So I'm pretty impressed. This is a pretty good experience. All right, so that is the Tesla Supercharger experience here in the Chevy Equinox EV. And while I didn't have a chance to do like a charging test here because we were at too high of a state of charge, I'll do more of that later on when we're actually like road tripping and stuff. It should be pretty interesting because the Equinox operates at a very low voltage range. Nominal is like 288 volts and the max is like 333. And what that means is that in order to get decent charging rates, the amperage needs to be ramped up significantly. Now, I think on these ones, I've seen that the amperage can actually go over 500 amps at certain periods of time. But a lot of charging tests are showing so far with the Equinox that it doesn't do the best job with thermal management. And so with that much amperage, unfortunately generates a lot of electrical waste heat, and the Equinox doesn't seem to be able to like deal with that very well, so the batteries get heated up and it can't take in as much current anymore. So you actually start to tail off in charging rates regardless. So when you have the choice between a 150 or a 350, generally you're better off going with the 150 because the amperage is lower, voltage is you know, just as high, and so you're actually less likely to thermally derate. But anyway, that's on like EA stations and stuff. Tesla, I actually am not totally sure what you would get, so I'll have to check that out later. Unfortunately, the car makes it quite difficult to find any of that, and I'm probably going to need to use our OBD adapter that I forgot to bring with me today. So more of that to come later, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that. But I think overall, from a like user experience standpoint, this is actually pretty good. The fact that we don't have plug-in charge is not as bad as I thought. It's pretty easy to like get in there through the in-vehicle navigation screen or like using either the MyChevy or Tesla app, so really not much of a concern there. That's fine. I wish it had plug-in charge just for a little bit more ease of use, but we can live with this. So that's a pretty nice experience, and I'm gonna give Tesla props also. These V4 dispensers at least are quite nice. Cable could be, I'd say like an extra 6 to 12 inches would make a pretty big difference here, but it was okay to be used here. I think our Rivian is probably all right also, but I think in a Ford vehicle where the ports are a little bit further back, you'd still have a bit of a stretch to make that work. So still not quite ideal, but a little bit better here. These cables are definitely thicker than the V3 Superchargers, but I wouldn't say it's all that much more more unwieldy or anything like that. And yeah, these are pretty nice. Interestingly, like a part fell off of this one while I was using it, but I think it just wasn't like connected the right way and screwed in all the way. It clicked right back in and was fine. But these are pretty cool. I'm glad we got to check this out for the first time also. All right, well, with all of that, thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to now have this availability of Tesla Supercharging in our Equinox, and this just makes this so much more feasible for us to take on road trips now. I think for sure we'll be taking this up to at least one ski adventure this winter in Vermont, and maybe even take this camping down south over the fall also. Time will tell. All right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there for another electric adventure soon.